Obeisances. Let's start.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham Vatatmajam Vanarayutha Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Shirasa Namami Pujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam Apadam Apahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vami Cha Janakatmaja Purato Marutir Yasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam. Welcome back. We are in the exciting Kishkindha Kanda, which is an amazing Kanda that we learn about, among many things, we learn about friendship. And Sugriva and Sri Ramachandra are moving towards their friendship. And so we learn about what it means to make friends with the Supreme Lord, or for that matter, friends with anyone. What is the dharma of friendship, especially friendship with the Supreme Lord, and how he extends himself in a friendship. So if we extend that kind of friendliness towards the Lord, how he becomes happy and extends himself beyond our conception. So we're getting towards that today. Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana, along with Hanuman, who's taking them there, are going to meet Sugriva. So we'll start with chapter 4. Very wonderful verse. Tataha prashtatau Hanuman krityavan iti tadvachaha Shrutva madhura sambhasham Sugrivam manasa agataha. Sugrivam manasa agataha. Hanuman in his mind went to Sugriva. Why? Because Hanuman was very happy in his heart. Tataha prahashtau Hanuman kritya. So when Hanuman was responded to by Sri Lakshmana, and Hanuman heard that Lakshmana said, my brother Ramachandra wants to make friendship with Sugriva, Hanuman became delighted. How fortunate is my king Sugriva that someone like Ramachandra and Lakshmana want to make friendship with him. And so hearing Lakshmana's sweet words, Madhura Sambhasham, as soon as he heard this, in his mind, he went to Sugriva to tell him ahead, oh, Sugriva, good news. Right? When something wonderful happens, we in our mind visit the persons that are dear to us. So then that Sugriva, he who thinks that Hanuman, so Hanuman is thinking in his mind when he has visited Sugriva, that Sugriva who did what he needed to do is now very likely to acquire his kingdom, from which he was kicked out by Vali, because the great Sri Ramachandra would help in making Sugriva successful. So he's just delighted that this is already the news of success before even the event has happened, because he's very clear. In the Bhagavad Gita, because we're students of Bhagavad Gita, I try to draw parallels. In the first chapter itself, we are told Arjuna is sitting on a chariot given by Agni. He has the Gandiva in his hand. Krishna is his driver. Hanumanji is on the flag, etc. So these are indicators that even before the war has started, for sure, Arjuna will be victorious. Similarly, just by Ramachandra and Lakshmana saying, yes, we want to make friendship with Sugriva, it is already decided that Sugriva will be successful. Then Hanuman, who's delighted, Tataha Parama Samhrishta. Parama Samhrishta. So this is a superlative of superlative. Harashta means to be happy. Samhrashta means very happy or delighted. And Parama Samhrishta. Hanuman Plavaga Rishabha. Plavaga Rishabha. The best among monkeys who go from one place to another by swinging. Plavaga means to go by swinging. Pratyuvacha tato vakyam ramam vakya visharada. So then Hanuman, who himself is a very, very accomplished speaker, as we heard last week, he is speaking to another who is the best at speaking. Vakya visharada, Sri Ramachandra. And he asked, the Pratyuvacha tato vakyam, he asked Ramachandra. Now, before we go into what he asked, there is a little hint here. In this Kishkindha Kanda, 4th chapter, 3rd verse, in the last word of the first line, Plavaga Rishabha, that Ga is the representation of the Ga in the Gayatri mantra. We know that the Ramayana is a work in which Valmiki has encoded the entire Gayatri mantra. So whatever realization one has to get from Gayatri, that realization is there in the pages of, or in the verses of Ramayana. Ultimately, from Gayatri, one is supposed to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Ramachandra, the Supreme Lord, his consort, his energies, his expansions, including the living entities, and his material nature and spiritual nature. When we say consort, all of this is the realization in Gayatri. And that is what one will come to a proper conclusion by studying Ramayana. So technically, by this verse, when we have arrived here, of the 24,000 verses, we have covered 8,000 verses. And from here, this Ga belongs to the Bharga in the Gayatri mantra. So now Hanuman is continuing to ask, so tell me the full reason of why you are here in this really deadly forest, which is filled with serpents and wild animals. And for general human beings is quite inaccessible. This area surrounding the Pampa river or Pampa lake. Why are you here? And having asked by Hanuman, and when Ramachandra urged Lakshmana to speak, Lakshmana said, this here is Sri Ramachandra, the son of the great Dasharatha. Now, Dasharatha is such a king that he never hated anyone, nor did anyone hate him. Ajata Shatraha, that's we hear, that's the quality of a sadhu. For Yudhishthir Maharaj also, it was said, he has no enemy and there's no enemy, no one has animosity towards him. Of course, Duryodhana had. And then Dasharatha, he was like a father to all of his citizens. Praja, that means he was fatherly or affectionate to not just the human beings across all Varnas and those outside of the Varna, but also to the animals, the trees, the snakes, insects, to everyone he was like a father, just like how Lord Brahma is to every living entity. And he was very, very generous in giving gifts, especially when performing yagyas, like the Agnishtoma, etc. Yagyas, um, Dasharat Maharaj never held back in being charitable. He was so generous. He would give away millions and millions of cows, for example. Then, this Dasharatha's Maharaja's oldest son, the eldest son, is Sri Ramachandra, popularly known as Ramachandra. And he himself is the protector of all living beings. And he has never failed to carry out his father's instructions. Now, although the verse is very simple, what it indicates is Ramachandra's character. That's what Lakshmana is glorifying. He's giving an introduction. When we introduce someone, and I've done this in the temple many, many years or in any other occasions, when you introduce someone, you just don't say, I invite such and such to the stage and to speak. Or when you introduce, you give some indication of their accomplishments and their character. That's the proper way of introduction. So Lakshmana, who's in a service mode, is glorifying Sri Ramachandra as one who has never failed to carry out the instructions of his father. What does it say? That Ramachandra is a very, very loyal person. And that once, and also obedient to his authority, his father, or in general to his spiritual masters. Once he gets an instruction, he carries that instruction with him. Such a great person Ramachandra is. And Lakshmana says, Bharyaya cha mahateja sitaya anugato vashi dinakshaye mahatejaha prabhayeva divakaraha. This Ramachandra was followed by an equally qualified wife, Sita. Bharya ya cha mahateja sitaya anugato. And the way she followed him, Vashi, means completely under his, I don't want to say control, but the bond between Ramachandra and Sita was such that she naturally moved in both the physical and the mental direction of Ramachandra. Whatever is Ramachandra's desire was her desire. Wherever he went, she went. And the way Lakshmana gives this understanding is through an analogy. Dinakshaye mahatejaha prabhayeva divakaraha. Divakara is a beautiful name, is the name of the sun. Diva akaraha, one who can visualize everything when the sun rises. So it's called Diva. Everything becomes effulgent and bright. So the sun is called Divakara. Now this Divakara, sun, when it is setting, Dinakshaye, at the end of the day, when the sun is setting, the scorching rays don't feel hot anymore. They are milder. And the effulgence of the sun follows the sun. Sometimes after the sun is set, you'll see some, it's called dusk. There is still some light in the sky, and slowly even the light diminishes. So as the sun moves, the effulgence follows the brightness. And so she is called Prabhaya Eva. Just as the effulgence follows the sun, similarly. And this is the common analogy that where Krishna is considered like the sun, then his effulgence is Srimati Radharani. Energy and the energetic, the sun and the sunshine. And then he gives an very, very beautiful way of Lakshmana speaking. First, he spoke about Dasharath Maharaj. He introduced Ramachandra as the son of Dasharath Maharaj. First, the guru or the superior authority for both of them. Then he introduced Ramachandra. And immediately he didn't say, I am his brother. He introduced Sita Devi, who's not there. And now he's introducing himself. Ahamasya avaro bhrata. Avara bhrata means younger brother. Aham asya avaro bhrata. I am his younger brother. However, guner dasyam upagataha. However, in quality, I am his servant. Gunair dasyam upanugataha. So one may think that, oh, I am Lakshmana. I'm just born, half a day after him, or maybe one day after him. So literally we're equals. No. Gunair, in qualities, dasyam upanugataha. I'm actually his servant. Kritagyasya bahugyasya Lakshmano nama namataha. And he said, I have accepted the service of Ramachandra. What is his quality? Kritagyasya, very, very grateful person. Bahugyasya, and very, very well learned. And my name is Lakshmana. And then he glorifies Ramachandra. He's not just ordinary, some prince walking around in the forest. Actually, this Ramachandra should be living in the comfort of the greatest of kings and their luxurious lifestyles. And with hundreds and thousands and millions of people offering him reverence at every minute. And one who is worthy of well-wishers. So many well-wishers are all waiting in line for him. Unfortunately, he lost all his wealth and was banished to the forest. For no fault of his, but he was banished to the forest. And now he is deprived of his wife because she was kidnapped by an unknown demon who could assume any form at will. Now he says unknown demon, although they know Ravana, unknown in the sense they don't know who he is. They just know a name. Oh, excuse me. And then Lakshmana says that we met Diti's son, Danu. Who's Danu? He was cursed to become Kabandha. So we met Danu, who, although was cursed, he said that go and meet Sugriva. He's the best among the monkeys, and he will be able to help you locate Sita Devi. So we have come because Danu said, go to Sugriva, and then he went away to his higher abode. And we have come searching for Sugriva. So now, Hanumanji, I have given you a factual account of what you've asked me. So now we have arrived here seeking Sugriva's shelter. Now these words, seeking Sugriva's shelter, is kind of awkward. Awkward because Ramachandra is the shelter for everyone in the universe, for anyone in the creation. He is the shelter. That Ramachandra, because of his condition, he feels humble enough to say, we have come to Sugriva's shelter. I mean, this is awkward. Ramachandra cannot take shelter of, a mere monkey. But that is his mood. So then Lakshmana continues. Esha dattva cha vittani prapya cha anutamam yashaha lokanatha pura bhutva sugrivam natham ichchati. Ramachandra, who has gained great fame, anuttamam yashaha. Uttamam is supreme. Anuttamam means incomparably supreme. Yashaha, glory. How? Esha dattva cha vittani. Because of Ramachandra's magnanimity. We say to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahavadanyaya. So dattva, the ability to give. Ramachandra never holds back. He gives and gives and gives and gives even to the most unqualified persons. Datta cha vittani cha. Vittani, the way he conducts himself. Hmm? Prapya, he has achieved all this glory already. Such a person who always gives and gives and gives has come to take or ask. Lokanatha Purabhuta. He is the Lokanatha. Sugrivam Natham Ichchati. He has come with a desire to accept Sugriva as his master. Wow. Sugrivam Natham Ichchati. The master of the world, the giver of wealth to everyone, is now here to accept Sugriva as his master. What a pity. One of the commenters says, what a pity. The highest grade of person is now taking shelter of a very low entity, Sugriva. Low in the sense of being in an animal body. But we'll find Sugriva's glory very soon, that he made friendship with Ramachandra. So here's an application point. Technically, what Lakshmana is telling Hanuman is, listen, this is the hidden meaning. Actually, Ramachandra doesn't need anyone because he's already Lokanatha. He's already Anuttama Yashaha Prapya. So for him, he doesn't need the help of Sugriva. He doesn't need anyone. And for us, when we are serving Radha and Krishna or Sita Ramachandra, Lakshmi Narayana, whatever set of personalities that we serve, actually they don't need anything from us. However, the beauty of the relationship is that Sri Ramachandra finds ways and means to make himself dependent on the service we are offering. And that only because it's good for us to be engaged in that service. And so Lakshmana is making it amply clear. This is very similar to Prahlad Maharaj saying to Nrsimhadev, you don't need anything from us, but you are just so sweet that you make it feel as if when we offer you something, it makes you complete and fulfilled. Although it is we who are being fulfilled. Just as when a person decorates oneself, the reflection is decorated. So Ramachandra, Krishna, they Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they just make it easy. They make it, they invite us to offer some service, not to feel, they may say, oh, I feel so complete by your service. Thank you very much. Actually, they don't need it. Atma Rama. So these are ways in which the Supreme Lord makes himself accessible to us through service opportunities that he creates from all sorts of places for us. And all we need to have is the eye that catches these service opportunities. And if we don't have the eye to pick up these opportunities, although there are hundreds and hundreds, we may miss out. But if we have the eye to catch it, then we can see many, many opportunities of service crop up around us, which otherwise previously were hidden in plain sight. You know, the picture I'm getting in my mind is in a wartime, because of war going on, night goggles, night vision goggles we see in movies they wear. And so in the pitch dark, we are not able to make out anything. In this night vision goggles, suddenly you can see green color, some figures moving, the trees, the animals. You have some visibility. And it's the night goggles. So Sevan Mukhehi, the idea, the service-mindedness brings on for us service opportunities that are there in front of us, which otherwise we were not able to see, or not able to gain. And service doesn't have to be something big and loud. Even the smallest of things done with a service attitude, suddenly we notice, we're able to see. Then Lakshmana continues, Ramachandra, whose father is the protector of Dharma, because his name was also Dharmaraja, but protector of Dharma in all circumstances, who himself was a refuge to all living beings, now seeks Sugriva's shelter. Very, very opposite nature. Just like Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, who is the strength of the entire creation, holds the entire creation through just an expansion of his on his head. That Sri Krishna hungrily walks up to Mother Yashoda, crying that I'm hungry. Then Lakshmana continues, Sarvalokasya dharmatma sharanam sharanyam pura. Gurur me raghavas so ayam sugrivam sharanam gataha. Sugrivam sharanam gataha. That's the refrain in all these verses. Ramachandra himself, Sarvalokasya dharmatma. And this dharmatma, Ramachandra, Sarvalokasya sharanyam sharanam. Anybody who needs to take shelter, he is the only one who is qualified and fit to be their shelter. Such a person, my mentor, he calls him Gurur Me. He is my guru. Ramachandra is my guru because I learn everything from him. I look at his behavior and I learn. I look at his speech, I hear his speech and I learn. I see how he behaves and I learn from him. Everything. Gurur Me Raghavo Asyam Sugrivam Sharanam Gataha. He's come to take shelter of Sugriva. Then he continues glorifying Ramachandra. Yasya prasade satatam prasideyur maha prajaha sa Ramo vanarendrasya prasadam abhikankshate. Ramachandra gives his mercy to everyone. And now he has come to seek Sugriva's mercy. Ramachandra is famous in all the three worlds because he's the firstborn of Dasharatha. He's famous because of all the qualities and virtues that he has. He's respected by all the kings on the earth. That person who's respected by everyone has now come to take shelter of Sugriva. What's the message? Who's Sugriva? Yet, how humble Sri Ramachandra is because he wants to give Sugriva some service. Then Lakshmana is saying Sugriva should help Ramachandra, who is very severely tormented with grief and overwhelmed with grief, and is seeking Sugriva's favor. So Sugriva should not reject this offer of friendship. When Lakshmana was speaking in such a sad, melancholy tone, Lakshmana's eyes was filled with tears. Even Hanumanji's eyes were filled with tears. One, the tears are of different sense, that inside he is delighted at the great fortune Sugriva and he have arrived upon, and they were not searching. The Lord came searching for him. Right? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur tells us, don't behave in a way that you want to see the Lord. Behave in such a way that the Lord wants to see you. Now one may wonder, what has Sugriva done for attracting that? No, causeless. Ramachandra in his pastime created a circumstance by which he can give unlimited mercy to the Vanaras. Before that, no one really cared so much. Excuse me, to the Vanaras. He has come searching for Sugriva, meets Hanuman, and now all the monkeys on planet Earth are going to get their grace. Then Hanuman, I'm sorry, Lakshmana continues. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Hanumanji is speaking. He says, it is such a great fortune that you, Lakshmana and Ramachandra, who have such intelligence, who have complete control over your senses, you have conquered anger, you have come to see the king of the monkeys, who actually should have come to you because he needs your help more than you need his help. Here is the phrase that he uses. Idrisha buddhi sampanna. Idrisha is, just see how fortunate. Idrisha comes in Sikshashtakam also. Buddhi sampanna jita krodha jitendriyaha. Buddhi sampanna jita krodha jitendriya. Drashtavya vanarendrena. Actually, vanarendrena, by Sugriva, he should have come to see you. But dishtya, by great fortune, darshanam agataha, you have come to see him, to give your darshan to him. Let me tell you about Sugriva, is what Hanumanji is saying. Actually, he's been severely offended by his brother Vali, who treated him like an enemy and kicked him out of his kingdom. And poor Sugriva, now being expelled from his kingdom, is sitting in this forest with his wife hijacked by Vali. Sugriva's wife is Rama. Now Sugriva, who is the son of sun god, along with us, we will extend all the help that you need in search for Sita. Okay, now there is a connection. Ramachandra also comes in the lineage of the sun. And Sugriva also. There's just a connection. Then when Hanuman spoke like this in a very sweet, gentle words, the word in Sanskrit is slakshanaya, very gentle, soft words. He said to both Rama and Lakshmana, we will now go to Sugriva. And then he offered his obeisances to Ramachandra and Lakshmana. Exactly, not just some, nowadays it is a fashion that we say vancha, not even the whole thing, vancha, or some abbreviations of it. But Hanuman paid obeisances properly as tradition would demand it, and with proper reverence, worshipped them and said to both of them, let's go see Sugriva. And Lakshmana then turns to Ramachandra and says, oh Ramachandra, Raghava, this monkey, the son of Vayu, he appears very pleased by what we have spoken to him, as we understand from his behavior and words. And I take him to be a man of action. So just assume that your task of finding Sita Devi is also now accomplished. This is a certificate Lakshmana is giving Hanumanji by speaking to Ramachandra, that you can assume that your work is going to be successful, because that is who Hanuman is. Whatever work he takes up, he is always, always, always successful. Therefore, one of the names of Hanumanji is Karya Siddha Hanuman. Any work he takes up, he is successful. Why? Because of his very intense spiritual connection and service-mindedness to Sri Ramachandra and Sita Devi. Then Lakshmana, who is very good at reading non-verbal communication, tells Ramachandra, it is very evident from his words, of course, and seeing his cheerful face, that Hanuman is also pleased. He's happy that we have come to meet him. He's not threatened or doubtful of us. And I know that this son of wind god, because he comes as Vayu's son, he will never speak a lie. He's very truthful. So in one of the commentaries called Dharmakutam, it is said that the face is the index of the mind. So when Hanuman's face was cheerful, Lakshmana knew that Hanuman in his heart was also very happy. And a cheerful face is an indicator that the heart is free of any falsity. So Hanuman's exhibition of pleasantness in his face tells Lakshmana that actually in his heart there is nothing untrue. Because a person who is hiding something or is based on falsity, then according to sage Yajnavalkya, he says that these are some indications that a person is not being fully honest or truthful. When a person becomes jittery and they move from one place to another in a conversation, or who keeps touching the corner of their mouth with the tip of their tongue, like that, or whose forehead sweats, or whose face becomes pallid or lifeless, who stammer when speaking something that is in the heart, but they don't want to say it, so they sugarcoat it or speak something else, then they stammer. Or who keeps contradicting themselves too much again and again. Or who evades a reply. You ask them a question and they will not give a straight answer. They will evade their answer. Politicians. Or avoid meeting the eye. They don't make eye contact. You ask them a question. Is this true? And look here and there. Or who curls up in the mouth, or, they make facial gestures. Or who's naturally crooked by mind. That's what he says. Naturally crooked in one's mind, speech, and action. Such a person is considered culpable. Culpable that they are saying one thing, but meaning something else. Of course, be careful. We are not experts like Yajnavalkya, definitely not experts like Lakshmana or Hanuman to be able to pick up on these non-verbal. So let's not judge people and say, he said like that, but he licked the corner of his mouth. So I heard from Yajnavalkya. Be careful. But this is Yajnavalkya's speech. So Hanumanji, who's Pavanasuta Hanuman, endowed with great wisdom, carried Ramachandra and Lakshmana to Sugriva. Now, this carrying also has great meaning. I'm coming up for that one. So Valmiki says, Bhikshu Rupam Parityaja. He gave up the sannyasi disguise. Vanaran Rupam Asthitaha. He came back to his original Vanara Rupam. And Prishtham Aropyatau Viro. On his back, he carried them, both of them. Viro, both of them. Jagama Kapikunjaraha. And they went to see Sugriva, who's like the elephant among monkeys. Of course, there's no elephant among monkeys. What it means is the leader, the biggest leader of the herd of elephants is the male elephant. So male among, or the king among monkeys. So some application points. Hanuman wore or put on a disguise of a sannyasi. Prabhupada tells us that before the spiritual master and the disciple develop a relationship, both have to test each other. The disciple has to test the spiritual master first. And in turn, the spiritual master will test the disciple. The only difference is, once taking shelter, this disciple cannot keep testing the spiritual master. It is only up unto the point of taking shelter, not after that. But the spiritual master can test the disciple and should test before, during, and after, and continuously keep testing the disciple. And one of the problems is Lord Brahma, in 10th canto, 14th chapter, whose spiritual master is Krishna, tested Krishna because he was bewildered by Krishna's very simple, human, childlike behavior. And that test proved really, really bad on him. Another of Hanuman giving up the mendicant form implies that a person may come to a spiritual master with whatever intentions, perhaps even deceptive, not fully forthcoming. But as soon as he realized, I need to take shelter of Sri Ramachandra, he gave up that bhikshu rupam tyajata, he gave up that duplicity. He gave, not duplicity, but he gave up any kind of deception that hiding his real intent or identity, and took on his original form. So which means, O Ramachandra, from here on, I'm an open book for you. Now, taking up here, he says, Kapirupam, Kapirupam Asthita. Asthita means got situated in. And Prishtam Aropya Viro. By carrying them and being a monkey, he is indicating that I will be a menial servant for you. That this is what a disciple should do, right? In Bhagavatam we hear, Brahmachari Guru Kule Vasan. One should live in the house of the Guru. Dantaha, with all senses controlled. Acharan Dasavat Nichaha. One should serve in a very, very menial way. Then Rupam Astita, the word Rupam Astita, regained his original form. So which means regaining original form, Asthitaha. We know this word from Bhagavatam also. Hanuman is now serving Ramachandra not in the form of a sannyasi, which is a taken up form, a disguise, a condition, or a upadhi, but in his original form, as in his constitutional form as a servant. So we know the verse, Muktir hitva anya rupam swarupena avasthiti. Same, situated in one's swarupa. Now, of course, I don't want to argue whether Hanuman's swarupa is of Vanara, monkey, and all that. But we always know that he is in his form as monkey. It means that not any upadhi, sarvopadhi vinirmuktam. Tat paratvena nirmalam. Nirmalam means nothing else contaminating it. He carrying the two of them on his back is that he's taking them to Sugriva. So the spiritual master, Guru, carries the Lord in his heart and Guru Tattva, because that is how he is empowered. He is empowered by the Lord and the Guru Tattva principle, and brings the Guru Tattva and the Supreme Lord to the conditioned soul, in this case Sugriva. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadaha. In Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song, he says, Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite paro. You have the ability to give Krishna. Tomara shakati ache. You have the ability and the strength to give me Krishna. Because Krishna is yours. Hanuman is carrying Ramachandra and Lakshmana on his back. And so the chapter ends with Hanuman, the great son of Vayu, very, very valiant, supremely heroic monkey, and one who's very, very admired by everyone, performed this task of carrying them, felt immensely happy. With an auspicious feeling in his heart, he departed for the great mountain Rishyamukha with Rama and Lakshmana. And that's how the chapter ends. So let's see if you have any questions, comments, reflections. You like the chapter?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Shruti here.
Hare Krishna.
I have one question around the topic where you mentioned that we have to test the spiritual masters first. Can you elaborate on that point a little more? On what parameters should we test and how should that process be like?
Yeah, excellent. So the idea of testing is to two things. One is to help us not fall a victim to just the externalities. Prabhupada would say long flowing beard and like no, nothing external. First one. Second, the test is to know if they belong to a proper disciplic succession. And here Lakshmana is saying he is Dasharatha's son. Third one is to know whether that person's speaking and how they live their life match or not. In our tradition, Srila Sanatan Goswami and Haridas Thakur have this conversation that there are many persons who talk fantastic, but they don't live matching that talk. There are many persons who live nicely, meaning in a very dharmic way, but they don't have the ability to speak and inspire someone else. But, oh, Sanatan Goswami, you have both, is what Haridas Thakur says. So to check whether their speech and their behavior are matching. Yad acharati shrestha and yad pramanam kurute. This is from Bhagavad Gita chapter 3. Yad acharati, how they behave inspires others, but how they speak also. So their speech and behavior must match. So with that criterion, 90% of so-called spiritualists are disqualified. So those are some ways, Shuchi.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
And in the thank you. And in the Upanishads, there are these verses that Prabhupada quotes again and again and again. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Shrotriyam means that spiritual master must also have heard from his spiritual masters or her spiritual masters. Brahmanishtam must be situated on a spiritual platform, not a human, I shouldn't say human, on a mundane sense of platform, very spiritually grounded. Such a person is to be accepted.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Keith here. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the nice class. It was the way you put it and described about how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the shelter of all living entities, is, in one sense, taking shelter of Sugriva. In the discussion, you mentioned that Lakshmana, although he said he doesn't know which demon abducted Sita, but they knew that it was Ravana who abducted Sita. When did they come to know about this, and how did that transfer? I guess I missed that discussion.
Jatayu expressed, later Kabandha expressed, but they just know name Ravana. They don't know anything beyond that.
Probably another question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Hanuman told Rama and Lakshmana in the last week's discussion that we were having that he's actually monkey in disguise. He reveals that in his words, but looks like he kept his disguise, external disguise, till now when he actually invites Rama and Lakshmana to sit on him. Is that the right understanding?
Correct, because the conversation is going on. He's in this Bhikshu Rupam, but he's already said, I am actually Hanuman, I am Vanara. And then Lakshmana is speaking to him. The conversation is going on, and Valmiki is telling us, Bhikshu Rupam Parityajya. He left that and carried Ramachandra and Lakshmana as Hanumanji.
Thank you, Prabhu. And he was also I was just thinking that his action of giving up his disguise was also sending a very good signal to Sugriva that he has nothing to fear. He can be rest assured.
Right, because he had told Hanuman, stand facing me so I know what's going on.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Madhav Priya.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have a question.
I'm ready.
So, you said that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that we should not act in a way that we strive to go to Krishna, but we should act in a way that Krishna wants to come to us. But isn't it like Krishna is independent and he doesn't need us? So why do we need to act in a way that Krishna needs to come to us?
By our wonderful question. What it means is rushing through something to say, I am going to see Krishna. He uses this as a, let me backtrack and start with. When we say darshan, right? Generally we understand this, I went to see the deity and we call that darshan. Curtain was open and I saw the deity, I took darshan. So according to Bhakti Siddhanta, that language is not correct. Because what we are seeing, he says, what you will see is a statue decorated with clothes and jewelry, and you may have some sense of, oh, prayer, I'm supposed to offer a prayer. But seeing actually has to come from hearing. And when you serve genuinely, then Krishna is eager to see you. That is darshan. Darshan means I stand in front of the Lord and he is happy to see me. Now, when I'm standing in front of the Lord, what is he seeing? If I were to list my stuff here, it's not worth seeing anything. But I come in front of the Lord, by his glance, I become purified. So darshana is more that he wants to see me. And in this case, if you see in Ramayana, Ramachandra is going one after the other to meet those persons. And this is where Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Paritranaya sadhunam. I go to purify and uplift the sadhus, because they for years and years and years have been engaging themselves in such a simple, saintly way that I'm eager to see them. That's what it means. That our bhakti should inspire the Lord to want to see us. It doesn't mean you should not go to temple. One must. But the idea is one must go in a mood of service. So it attracts the Lord. Actually, in Nectar of Devotion, we hear from Rupa Goswami. Lord Krishna has the name Krishna because he attracts everything and everyone towards him. But he's only attracted someone who's greater than him is Srimati Radharani, because she attracts him. He who attracts everyone else. Madan, Mohana, Mohini. She bewitches Krishna by her love and beauty, which is part of that love that she carries for him. That's what it means. I hope you like that.
Yes, Prabhuji, I like the answer very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Harisham Das from Bangalore.
Someone speaking, I can't hear.
Krishna, this is Harisham Das from Bangalore. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Your connection's not so clear, but try. Let's see if we can hear you.
Okay. So, Prabhuji, like when you described the meeting of Hanuman and Ramachandra, I was just reminded of Prabhupada's meeting with Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, where like Prabhupada was a nationalist. So, but at the end of the meeting, Prabhupada carried in his heart and then like made it as its life mission. So I just reminded to share it.
Thank you. Exactly. Good one. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Hari Bol.
Can you repeat, Prabhuji, what Hari Sham Prabhuji told? I could not understand. His voice was not so clear.
He said it Ramachandra and Lakshmana, Hanuman's meeting reminded him of the first meeting between Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada was a nationalist at that time, and he said certain things, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati spoke back, and Prabhupada was convinced. And after the meeting, Prabhupada said that he's a genuine sadhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is in good shape in his hands, or something like that. I
Thank
added
you,
that
Prabhu.
sentence, but that's from Leela Amrita.
Prabhu, one question is there.
Who's
When Lord Hare Krishna,
Who's speaking? I'm sorry.
myself Chandan.
Chandan. Hi, go.
So, Prabhu, one question is there. When Lord Ram and Lakshmana, Mother Sita, ends his pastimes and they go to Saket Dham or Vaikuntha Loka. So, but Hanumanji resides on the earth only. So, next time in the next Leela, again Lord Ramchandra comes. Next Leela means some other Treta Yuga. And Mother Sita comes and Lakshmana comes, and then same pastimes happens. So in between, what is the role of Hanumanji? So he also continue, or like Hanumanji changes as Indra and Brahmaji changes with some time. So Hanumanji also changes. This is my doubt, Prabhu.
Good question. I don't think I know for sure. The commentators explain that Hanumanji's service is to remain here and hear Katha, Ram Katha, and speak Ram Katha to anybody and everybody. And supposedly he will be the next great personality. Now, every time Sri Ramachandra comes, I'm sure there will be some ways and means by which Hanuman's entry into the pastime will also happen. I'm sure. Otherwise, he's here for a very, very long time. And it's not necessary that every Treta Yuga Ramachandra comes. That's
Yes, whenever he comes.
whenever
So Lord Ram is same. He is not going to change.
will also
He is,
be.
but Hanumanji also same tattva.
Yes. Not tattva, same servant. He may be as Hanuman. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu.
However, it's a little vague for me because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna, Bahuni me dvatitani janmani tava cha Arjuna. You and I, for many, many times, have appeared together. Aham sarva veta, natvam veta. I know every of the occurrences. You may not know. So whether Hanumanji knows exactly each time or not is unclear. As from Bhagavad Gita, we may assume that maybe, it's part of the pastime that his connection and revival of Ramachandra will be in different ways. Now, from this Ramayana, we understand that Hanuman, as soon as he met Ramachandra, the connection was instant connection. While for Sugriva, you will see, connection is not instant. It will take time. He is more like, I'm going to say us, but sorry, like me, who is doubtful, takes time. So Hanuman's connection is instant. So we assume it's so natural that they connect like that.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Haribol.
I'd like to seek your validations and thoughts. Personally, for me, it was very touching to hear from you about how Lakshmana was introducing Lord Ramachandra to Hanuman. And he ends up saying, I am his servant. It's very touching. Like he's holding the entire world as Adishesh in one sense. And he says, I am his servant. And something that I like to see your validation is Lord Ramachandra came in the life of Hanuman. And in order to know Lord Ramachandra further, it was Lord Lakshmana who was required, the Guru who was required to give the same to Hanuman, who himself, in one sense, which we will hear later from you, will go to Lanka in Sundarakanda and convey the glories of Lord Ramachandra further, as such. So it seems, and so he received the mercy of the Lord, he conveyed it to them. For us, the persons, we receive the mercy of the Lord through the devotees and through our spiritual master. And I feel this particular passage is motivating us that we should create something where the legacy of our spiritual master is maintained for generations, and his teachings can be imbibed by others for the many generations and yugas to come. Any thoughts on that?
This is something you've been thinking for a while, I know. And the answer is yes. And for that matter, each person should feel like that about their spiritual masters. The question is how. It should be all of the following: through explicit expressions of glorification. Therefore, it's very, very important that every disciple expresses a Vyasa Puja offering. It's important. It's not just that I'm too shy, it should not be in the book. Not like that. It should be there. It's important for others to hear how the glory of the spiritual master and his grace has touched a person. Must be there. It's a discipline that one must try to cultivate. Then second is internally dhyayam stuvam yashastri sandhyam, we say. And then the most important is to live according to this. You don't hear Prabhupada constantly saying, my Guru Maharaj, my Guru Maharaj. But when he would say, it would be with such meaning that you could see that everything is according to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's desire. Even the little things, regardless of when they manifested, were all Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's desires or instructions or will. So yes, it's important. It's important. More than the Supreme Lord, it's the spiritual master who's the manifestation of the Lord's mercy. Incarnation is mercy. Incarnation of mercy. It's important. In our ISKCON movement, that's a big concern right now, Prabhupada's legacy. So they're trying different things and to keep Prabhupada, what they call, in the center. And for each person, one feels similarly for their own spiritual master.
I was thinking to this question, like Shamakund and I have been talking on this topic, and it just struck to me like the best way, at least to begin with, like, to establish the legacy of the spiritual master. I feel that we living the core teachings of the spiritual master, that's a good starting point of establishing that legacy. Each one of us feeling the weight of what we have received, and how to practically demonstrate that in our own personal life, in our dealings with each other, so that when somebody sees us, they feel like just the way, when they see ISKCON devotees, genuinely non-envious personalities appreciate Prabhupada's contribution. Similarly, within our movement, the way like we can represent or establish that legacy of a spiritual master is to live that every day, so that when somebody sees us, then automatically our Guru Maharaj's legacy is he's glorified.
Yeah.
It was just a comment.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Anything else? Okay. Thank you. And we will see you again next week, where Sugriva and Ramachandra meet, and they actually enter into a bond, a contract of friendship. Of course, friendship is not contractual, but the idea that they make promises to each other. You and I are friends now, and your happiness is my happiness. Your distress is my distress. Excellent, excellent friendship. There are some nuances that hopefully we'll pick up on, because these things are important. As practicing devotees, we enthusiastically say one thing, but we don't keep track of what effects it has, collateral damages. My spiritual master calls it walking with blinders on, that, oh, here I come, and along the path, trample on a few people, unbeknownst, because I'm overzealous. And so we will see Sugriva's Utsahamai and perhaps a little tinge of pride, all of that coming up in just simple gestures of things. And up until then, we hope that Sri Hanumanji will inspire us to give up whatever disguises we are wearing, knowingly or unknowingly, and that we may be inspired to serve the Supreme Lord, his consort, and his very, very dear associates with as genuine a service attitude as we can muster up. And we are constantly seeking and begging for that service mentality to flourish and grow and deepen and take root in our heart, and ultimately grow into this fascinating Bhakti Lata Bija. Bhakti Lata Bija is already given. All right. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.